It's a genocide that's taking place that you people don't want to write about, but it's a terrible thing that's taking place, and farmers are being killed. They happen to be white.
My people, President Trump has yet again made a move that's sparking outrage across the world. His administration is reportedly planning to reserve, get this, 75% of all U.S. refugee slots, that's about 30,000 people, exclusively for white South Africans, particularly Afrikaners. But let's be real, my people, we can't really say we're surprised, can we? From the very start of his presidency, Trump has gone to war for white South Africans. And I have covered the story quite extensively on the show. Back in May, the U.S. even welcomed the first plane load of Afrikaner families with open arms, a red carpet, hugs, and kisses, bypassing the long, grueling vetting process that every other refugee has to endure. And now, with the latest move to reserve 75% of refugee slots to this group, the picture is crystal clear. Trump is not hiding his agenda anymore. He is openly executing a white nationalist vision for America's refugee program. And he wants the world to know the game is very different now. Today, we're breaking down this policy that's coming, what it means for refugees around the world, and the dangerous message it sends about who counts and who doesn't, who is safe and who isn't in Trump's America. Because, my people, this is not just about refugees or white South Africans. It's about America's moral compass, the kind of precedents we're setting in the nation, and honestly, the kind of nation Trump is molding. We're going to break it down, but first, a big welcome to all of our new subscribers and members. I'm so glad you're here. And if you're watching and haven't joined us yet, consider this your personal invitation, because here at PanaGenius TV, we're not just building a channel, we're creating a global home for Black stories that are told with truth, intention, and with power. And if that speaks to you, then hit subscribe, tap the bell, drop a super thanks, or join our membership community. Your support helps us do what we do even better, and we appreciate it. All right, now, let's get into it. So, my people, let's set the record straight, okay? Here are the facts. Here's what we know so far. For the next fiscal year, the Trump administration is setting the U.S. refugee cap at 40,000 people, according to a Reuters report. That's already less than half of what it was under President Biden. But here's the kicker. They're planning to reserve 75% of those slots. That's nearly 30,000 people, exclusively for white South Africans. The justification? The administration claims white Afrikaner farmers are facing government-sponsored discrimination and even genocide in South Africa because of land reform and racial tensions, a false rhetoric that has been debunked over and over and over again. But Trump continues to hold on to it, saying that America has a duty to protect these Afrikaners.
Because they're being killed, and we don't want to see people be killed. It's a genocide that's taking place that you people don't want to write about, but it's a terrible thing that's taking place, and farmers are being killed. They happen to be white.
And this isn't just talk. It's already happening. In May 2025, the U.S. welcomed the first group of Afrikaner families as refugees. The applications were fast-tracked, processed in a record time, while refugees from other parts of the world who are in need of real refuge, families who've been waiting for years, are left stranded.
The administration rolled out the red carpet for 59 white South Africans they call refugees, saying they faced racial discrimination back home.
We're sending a clear message that the United States really rejects the egregious persecution of people on the basis of race in South Africa.
President Trump claims the U.S. had to take in the group because white farmers are being killed in South Africa in what the president calls a genocide. But there's no evidence that's taking place, and some civil rights advocates are now raising questions about the decision to admit only white refugees at a time when the administration has cut off access to others facing war and famine.
Flying white Afrikaners over here to the United States to find refuge when they deny refuge for everybody else from war-torn communities at that. I mean, this is very clear to us.
Even major institutions are pushing back. The Episcopal Church, which has long partnered in U.S. refugee resettlement, announced that it would no longer participate, saying that it refuses to help implement a system that's built on racial favoritism. But the Trump administration isn't backing down. They're doubling down, as a matter of fact. And in plain terms, this means America's refugee program, the very system that's designed to protect the world's most vulnerable, is being turned into a weapon of white nationalist politics. So my people, why does this matter? Because refugee policy isn't just about numbers. It's about values. It's about the story that a nation tells the world about who deserves protection and who doesn't. By reserving 75% of refugee slots for white South Africans, Trump is rewriting that history. He's saying, when it comes to safety, whiteness comes first. And that has ripple effects far beyond America's borders. It tells other communities, Black and brown refugees fleeing from war in Sudan, Congo, Gaza, Haiti, or Afghanistan, that their lives matter less. It undermines the very idea of refugee protection, which was created after World War II to stop governments from picking and choosing based on race, religion, or politics. And it signals to white nationalist movements around the globe that their worldview has a home in the White House. My people, this isn't just about South Africans. This is about white America broadcasting a message to the world. If you look like us, you're welcome. If you don't, you wait, you suffer, or you die trying. That's why this policy matters, because it doesn't just change who gets a visa. It changes the meaning of justice, fairness, and humanity in Trump's America. And the fallout has been immediate. In South Africa, the government has slammed Trump's claims of genocide against white farmers, calling them baseless and politically motivated. Officials say land reform is about correcting apartheid's legacy, not exterminating a people.
When they kill the white farmer, nothing happens to them.
No, there is
Nothing happens to
There
them.
is criminality in our country. People who do get killed, unfortunately through criminal activity, are not only white people. Majority of them are black people.
For Pretoria, this policy isn't humanitarian. It's an insult built on lies that fuel division, both at home and abroad. And refugee advocates are furious too. They're pointing out that while Trump is fast-tracking Afrikaners, refugees from other places, sometimes wait in line decades for a shot at resettlement, are being turned back. And to them, this isn't just unfair. It's a racial hierarchy being baked into policy. And on the world stage, well, allies are watching too. Critics say that this policy undercuts America's moral authority. If the U.S. openly practices racial favoritism in its refugee program, how can it lecture any other country about human rights or democracy, which, by the way, it's been doing for years? And here's the twist. Within far-right and nationalist circles, both in the U.S. and abroad, this move is being celebrated. They're seeing it as validation, proof that their worldview now shapes policy at the highest level of government. So the fallout is twofold: condemnation from governments and human rights groups, but applause from white nationalist movements who now see Trump's America as their champion. So my people, here's the bigger question. Why do I keep reporting on this matter here on the show, you might ask? Because this says so much about where America is headed. Refugee policy has always been a mirror. It shows the world what kind of nation the United States claims to be. In the past, America positioned itself as a safe haven, right? The place that people ran to, where they had nowhere else to go. It was the land of opportunity. From Vietnamese people in the 1970s to Somalis fleeing famine in the 1990s to Afghans escaping the Taliban in recent years, America's refugee program has always been about projecting moral leadership. But now, with this policy, Trump is flipping that mirror. He's saying America is not the refuge for the world's tired, poor, and huddled masses. It's a refuge for whiteness. And that's not just a policy. It's a precedent. Because if the government can decide that one group gets 3/4 of the refugee slots based on the color of their skin, my people, you just gotta ask, what's next? Which groups could be cut off tomorrow from food stamps, from housing aid, from healthcare, from education programs here in the US, simply because of who they are, simply because of what they look like, the color of their skin, how they talk, how they dress. That's the danger here. Once you normalize racial preference in one corner of government, it can spread everywhere. Today, it's refugees, and you might be thinking, what do I care? I don't want them in my country anyway. Sure. But I want you to know that tomorrow, it could be the very social programs millions of Americans depend on. So no, this isn't just about refugees. It's about the slippery slope of turning America's institutions into tools of exclusion instead of protection. So where do we go from here, my people? Because you know I never leave you without solutions, right? What do we do in this moment? Do we just sit back and remain silent? Because silence in moments like this is never neutral. It's permission. It's giving a green light to policies that reshape who belongs, who matters, and who gets left behind. And make no mistake, the cost of silence today could be the kind of nation our children inherit tomorrow. A nation where opportunity is rationed by race. A nation where programs meant to protect the vulnerable are weaponized to privilege the few. The question is, will we speak? Will we resist? Will we call it what it is? Or will we look away until the damage is permanent? So my people, what do we do to prevent this speculation, yes, that's what you're calling it, from becoming a reality? Here are 3 things we can do right now. Number 1, raise your voice publicly. Policies like this thrive in silence. Call your representatives, write letters, post on social media, use your platforms. Hey, share this video with your group chats. Let them know what's happening. Let's demand that refugee admissions remain fair, humane, and not racially coded. Lawmakers need to hear that the public is paying attention. They need to know that you care. Because, hey, after all, this is your tax money, okay? And number 2, we need to support refugee and advocacy organizations. Groups like the International Rescue Committee, Refugees International, and faith-based coalitions are already pushing back, and they need resources, they need volunteers and amplification. Supporting them strengthens the fight against policies that are rooted in exclusion. And thirdly, we must educate and mobilize our community. Conversations at the dinner table, in churches, schools, and community groups matter. Talk about what's at stake, not just for refugees abroad, for the kind of America that we are leaving for the next generation. Mobilize your network so this doesn't slip under the radar. Because the truth is, there's still time. The cap, they say, hasn't been finalized yet. The decisions will be made in the next month, which means our voices, our actions, and our resistance right now could shape the outcome. The only question is, will we use it? So now I turn it over to you, my people. What do you think about this new policy that's coming? And what actions should we, the people, be taking in these moments? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's have this conversation together. You know, I love hearing from you. And if you enjoyed this video, please share with your group chats. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. That's it for today's show. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Sandra Babu-Boateng. And until next time, stay alert.